Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be updating my Pan Those Eyeshadow Palette series. This is my second update in this series, and just as a little reminder, last month I was behind schedule, so this month I'm trying to get right back on schedule. So my progress last month was a lot larger than this month. I didn't have as many days between last update and this update, so that's why my numbers are a little lower this time than they would normally be. This project is a hybrid between Pan Those Eyeshadows and Pan That Palette. As always, I have the creators of both those projects linked below in the description box. The way I've created this project is just to kind of reflect those two projects together, where I'm working through palettes to try to use them up or just hit pan on them. I started it last year and I worked to pan a palette while working to empty a couple of other palettes, but I utilized the quintet format of Pan Those Eyeshadows to help me kind of have a little bit more fun while working through 3 palettes in my collection. So I will go ahead and show you what my quintet was looking like last month. I have the shades Seeking from my Glambition palette, Isolde 2 from my NARS Atomic Blonde palette, and then from my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, I have the shades Nerfertiti, Angelic, and Twilight. I am technically working to empty pretty much all the shades in all these palettes, but I have a rule where if I hit 50 uses on a shade, I can roll it out should I want to. You know, if it's just kind of hanging around for a while, or if it's a more boring shade or something like that, I can decide to roll it out. Or if it's a shade that doesn't have pan yet and I've hit pan on it, then I can also roll that out and roll something else in its place, just so that I'm making sure that I'm working through all of these shades, because there are a lot of them and I want to make sure that I'm distributing my usage across the palettes. So let's go ahead and dive into this update. My first palette is my Marc Jacobs Glambition palette. I will show you what the palette was looking like last month. And here is what it's looking like this month. So hopefully you can see a couple new additions, some pretty good progress in this palette, but we'll talk about that in a second. First, we'll start with Seeking, because that is the shade in my quintet. So I used Seeking 17 times this last month, which put me at a total of 53 uses within this project. Because I hit my 50 use goal, I am gonna go ahead and roll this one out, just because I figure, you know, it's not the most fun to watch me use, since it's the most boring shade. Really, it's just, you know, it's a crease shade. These two I use together and I use them every single day. And I think even with rolling it out, I'm gonna continue to use it every single day, because I do want to get them used up. And I don't really see why I would stop using them. So I figure it would be a good idea for me to go ahead and roll that one out and then be able to give some focus to something else in this palette. I think I wasn't going to do this, but I think I'm going to go ahead and block this one from being chosen as well, because like I said, I use them together. I don't use them apart from one another ever anymore, because this is a little too cool toned and a little bit more of a contoury shade for me than a crease shade for me. And this one warms it up just enough where it doesn't do that, but this one on its own is a little lighter than I prefer. So I like to use them together. So there's really no reason for me to roll one in without rolling the other in, because I'm going to use them together anyways. I have used this one exactly 53 times as well with this project, so there's no reason for me to not use them together, so I'm not going to roll that one in. Talking about the rest of my progress in this palette, I have been using She Was a decent amount. I've got a total of 19 uses on it since the start of the project. I haven't touched Known For yet this project. And then my biggest achievement with this palette is I ended up hitting pan in both the Most and Over the Top this month. I was really surprised. I haven't been using the Most that much, but I used it 9 times since the start of this project, and I hit pan the other day, just unexpectedly. I've just kind of been dipping into it every now and then to go with Angelic, actually, and it's been looking really pretty, so I just keep doing that every now and then. Oh, hi everybody. So my phone stopped recording right at that point, and I didn't realize until I had finished the video. So we're gonna try this again. So we stopped with talking about Over the Top, which is the brown shade in here. So we're gonna just wrap up the Glambition palette and then move into our other palettes. I have been using Over the Top a decent amount over the past couple of months, so I have used it a total of 44 times, and just this morning I did hit pan in it. They are both pinpricks in both these pans. So obviously they're not super noticeable or anything like that, but it's really exciting because now I have hit pan in every shade in this palette, aside from Glamour, which I did declutter. So, you know, that was the black shade that just crumbled all the time, and I didn't need it. So I was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and toss that. But the rest of these shades I have hit pan on. So that's pretty exciting. It gets me a good way towards my goal of emptying this palette. I don't know if I'll actually be able to empty over the top this year. There's a chance that I will, but I think I can empty the rest of them. We'll see. The next shade is from my NARS Atomic Blonde palette, and I will show you what it was looking like last month. And here is what it's looking like this month. Normally I would show you within the palette what it was looking like, but I have my highlighter in my 10 pan project pan. So I want to keep that, you know, I want to keep this spoiler free for you guys. And I currently have my quintet, my new quintet on my hand, so I can't really cover it with my hand to show you what it's looking like until the end of this video, but I will just go ahead and leave the picture of what it's looking like this month up on the screen so you can see my progress for the month. Real fast, I did not use Kink or Galapagos, which is the two on the end, so we'll just skip over those two, but Isolde 2 is the one in my quintet, and I do have a pretty good dip going in that shade. I used that shade 8 times this last month for a total of 26 uses within this project. So I am just over halfway to the 50 threshold goal. I was originally thinking that I would hit the 50 and then just have to be done and I wouldn't be able to hit pan on it. But now that I'm seeing I'm right at that halfway mark and I've got a pretty good dip in it, I honestly am starting to think that I might actually be able to hit pan on it, which would be really awesome. So hopefully I will hit pan on it. If not, by 50, I think I might be close enough where I'll keep it in, but we'll just play that one by ear. And then the other shade that I have been using a decent amount is the shade Icon, and I've used that a total of 19 times within this project. Now I do want to touch on that real quick. That little corner there where it looks like I've hit pan, I did not hit pan on that organically. So I dropped this palette a while back and it landed on that side of the palette. So some of that shade did chip off. And over time, it has been getting looser and looser in that corner. And this month it just finally broke free. So that I did not naturally hit pan on. However, it is kind of nice because it shows me just how deep those pans are, which is really deep. Those are some really deep pans. I honestly don't think I've seen eyeshadow pans that are that deep. Like they're intense. So it's going to take me a while to work through those shades, which I already kind of knew, but it is kind of nice to have that reference point. So moving on to the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, I will show you what it was looking like last month. And this is where we're at this month. So not too much noticeable difference in this palette. Desert Sand I am still working away on. I hit 50 uses today on this guy. So, you know, as always, I just use cream shades as a setting shade for my lid, so I don't ever roll them into the project. But I am making some steady movement on that one. As far as the rest of the palette goes, I haven't used much, if any, aside from the 3 in my quintet. So we'll just kind of bypass those. It's going to take me a while to get to anything else just because I'm going to be more focused on the shades in my quintet. So the rest of them, I think I've used Amber a few times. I might have used Eden once, but I hardly touch them. So just imagine that I haven't used them at all. But Nerfertiti, I did use the most out of these 3 shades. I used it a total of 7 times this last month. I've been really enjoying using it, especially along with Isolde 2. And I do think I'm pretty close to hitting pan. I have used it a total of 23 times since rolling it into the project. So close to the halfway point, but honestly, I'm thinking that I'll be able to hit pan on it this next month. So I don't think it'll get me even to 50 uses. Then for Angelic, I did only use that one 4 times, which is a total of 12 uses within this project. And there is a little bit of a dip forming in it, but it's not really much more than last month. You can't really see a whole lot of progress with just 4 uses. So that one is, you know, a lighter usage on that one, but I think I can hit pan on that well before 50 uses. I don't know, we'll find out. Obviously these pans are pretty deep too, but hopefully I'll be able to hit pan on that one in the next couple of months. And then Twilight, I did only use 3 times, which puts me at 11 uses. Again, you really can't see any major progress on it. I did just swatch it, so I used it a little bit more. And so there, it might look a little bit different than even the video that I have of this. But yeah, I talked about it this last month. I'm pretty sure I can empty this one up completely. So it'll take me a little bit of time to do that, but I really enjoy using this shade, so I think I can do it. So that is my updates for the palettes. Hopefully I didn't go too fast through those last 2 palettes. Having filmed the whole video and then found out that I only got the first 8 minutes of it, I just kind of am like done. So I want to give you guys a good full-length video, but I also want to get through these palettes because I feel like I'm just repeating myself again, and so I don't know. It feels stale to me, so I figure it'll probably feel stale coming from me if I'm just repeating myself completely. But I did decide to roll in a shade from my palette. Obviously, I filmed it and it didn't film, so I can't really show you what I rolled for it, but I did number these shades 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I rolled the shade 2 in, so I rolled Known For in. And I'm really excited about that because I didn't use it at all. I haven't used it at all in this project, and I hardly used it much last year when I had it in my project. So I'm actually really excited to have that in and to get some good use on it. 50 uses, I think, will take it pretty far. I don't know if it'll get it quite used up, but it'll be in the project for a little while, and I think it will get it really close to being gone. So this is what my quintet is looking like now with Known For in the palette. I think it's going to be beautiful. So it's Known For, Isolde 2, Nerfertiti, Angelic, and Twilight. These shades all work so well together. It's a super cohesive palette and it looks really, really great. So I'm super excited about that. I'm sorry that my camera cut off and you guys didn't get to see me roll it in, but hopefully next time we won't have that problem. I'm definitely going to be nervous because I'm about to film my Project 10 Pan update, so hopefully it doesn't cut out on me on that one, but I'll definitely be checking pretty regularly to be sure that it doesn't. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this update. I always appreciate you giving me your time and being here with me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.